It's Final Fantasy time. So I believe that's the correct thing. And start. Everything's ready. Controller to hand. Everything is sorted. Oh, hello, Mr. Chester Phoenix. How be you on this Saturday afternoon? Assuming it is still a Saturday afternoon. Yes, it is. I was not sure. It was wasn't entirely sure what day of the week it was. You'd think, since it is SaturJay, I would have full control over which day of the week it is, but no. Chapter 7, No Way to Live. I'm fine. I'm looking forward to a little bit of Final Fantasy XIII. Oh, and here we Sanctum Falsi, treat these people of Cocoon like pets. Upon realizing this fact, Lightning comes to understand herself. Since the moment she was born, she was raised under Falsi care, sheltered and protected. She never realized how much she depended on them. But after becoming a pulseless sea, she is removed from that protection. And like a child separated from her mother, she wanders in confusion and doubt. Added to the anxiety of being a fugitive, the grief of losing Sarah, and her rage at an unjust fate, Lightning finds herself on the brink of black despair. It is also clear now, thinking of the future without hope would be too much to bear, so she made the Sanctum her enemy and sought to lose herself in mindless combat. But it was all just a way to avoid facing reality, and now she's got Hope doing the same. If he loses himself in revenge, he may gain temporary respite from the horror of his predicament. It's over. But it will solve nothing. Overcome by guilt, Lightning tells Hope to abandon Operation Nora, much to the boy's disbelief. If he gives up on revenge, what else is there to live for? The two Lassie have much to think about. Here we go. This sure is a JRPG. Oh, I mean, it's JRPG through and through. It's a delightful JRPG. Right, we just came from that direction. We have the boy in tow. And now we go over to the elevator. I would sing love on an elevator. But with Hope in the room, it's inappropriate. Yep, it's still there. It's not going away, Jeff. Oh, really?
What? Why?
Fighting without hope is no way to live.
Well, he always has to fight with Hope. He is Hope.
It's just a way to die.
I do feel a little bit like they shouldn't have named the boy Hope and then talked quite so much about Hope.
To find the hope you were named
But I suppose
for.
they were deliberately going for this sort of...
Staying alive.
He's meant to be hopeless, but
I can't.
He is Hope. And,
I can't give you hope.
It's a little bit vomit-inducing, is the honest
truth.
truth.
You think meeting my dad will make anything better?
No, but you could give him a slap round the chops and tell him to fuck off. And that might make you feel better.
He'll never believe all this Lassie stuff.
Well, Lightning knows a little bit about that. For last time, we found out that Lightning just dismissed the notion that Sarah was a Lassie. Yes, he did. Snow believed her, but Lightning didn't. Because Lightning's a bit of a bitch. And I fear that bit of bitch in her is slightly bigger than the bit of woman in her. Ooh, that's fancy. Oh, it's because it's full-blown cutscene. Despite all of our sort of advancements, you can still tell the difference between gameplay footage and full cutscene footage in this one. I think 15 is slightly more difficult to tell. They're getting closer and closer to it being completely seamless. Although sometimes they don't bother with filmed bits like this, do they? They just do it all in engine. Which means you can't tell the difference because there is none.
They aren't people, they're targets.
Bit of a dick, isn't it? I do believe this might be the dramatic rescue by Snow.
I'll keep him busy.
But
I was pushed up against your butt. That's a lot of dudes, it is. I thought he was going to do... They were leaning the camera right in there to go, he's going to do something dramatic. Oh, no, he's not. He's definitely not going to do anything dramatic. No, it's going to be Snow and Fang to the rescue.
Gonna need a plan.
Well, I'm not sure whether they've actually identified her as Fang.
When have heroes ever needed plans?
He's magnificent. All I need is to summon Shiva. I don't know, is he actually summoning it or just using it? No, he is. There it is. Although they are technically. Oh no, I mean, certainly he called her Fang, so they must know the name of one another. Just hadn't remembered whether they'd officially named her in this yet. Oh, look at that. What a bike. What a summon. What a man. Yes, it is. And you thank your lucky stars. He is the best part of this entire game. Thank you very much. Long coat, motorbike, summoning Shiva and killing a load of dudes. That is all I need, sir. Although, granted, Fang is doing quite a lot of the killing. And Fang might have one of the best summons in the game. Or one of the best summons from Final Fantasy history, at the very least. But, I don't know, there's something... Oh, I mean, look at that motorbike. Oh, good old Cheeky Wink there. Cheeky Wink. And that's Wink with an I, not Wink with any other letter you can think of. That would be cheeky.
Whoa!
Take care of him.
Lightning, listen to me.
Get moving.
No, you don't understand. Sarah's all right. She'll turn back.
Take care of Hope.
Wait!
And then there were three.
Is this our first exposure to Fang? Or not? Because I think Fang and Lightning team up. Yes, not Wink with a Q. Never do Wink with a Q. So I think, yeah, I think we get a little bit of gameplay. I don't know why I'm trying to preempt it. I just like to. I don't know. It's because I've played it before. It's difficult not to try and remember each bit. But I'm fairly certain you do get... Yeah, you get Snow and Hope. Snow, you're an idiot. I love you, but you're an idiot. At least he did rescue him. I think this is the ice tornado bridge thing. Oh no, it's... Oh no, it's straight into doing this stuff. Spin freeze! Whoosh! Just icicle drift, baby! Ice ramp! Whoosh! Yeah! A little bit of that, a little bit of spin freeze, a little bit of wheelie, a little bit of ice ramp, a little bit of icicle drift, and now finally throw down the full big boy. Way! Ice blizzardy tornado of death. Yeah.
Way to go.
I think the Shiva sisters were one of the cleverest. Oh right, I was going to say. Usually, I've just realised we've not got that on, so let's Libra up this butch so we know roughly what to do. Come on, keep on punching. Luckily, he's a commando, but yeah, I think Snow and Hope become a team for a little bit, and Lightning and... How did you miss, you dipshit? Hopefully this fight's going to be relatively easy. I'm losing quite a lot of health though, but it's a shame the big boy here didn't get taken down by the Shiva sisters. I don't know if he was always supposed to not be taken down by the Shiva sisters, but... Okay, weakness is ice. No, Sentinel's not going to do me any favours. However, health will do me a lot of favours. Please don't do horrible things. Okay, this is troublesome. Do we have... No, we have only got potions. I am about to lose this fight. So, that sucks. Yep. Fuck. Oh, this game. Sometimes it likes to just roger you in the googly. And it's unpleasant being rogered in the googly. Don't know precisely how to do anything different. I suppose arguably, well, now there's definitely one thing I can do differently. I can boost all his stats. That's probably going to help somewhat. I think let's I mean, technically I should focus on his Sentinel, but that's not going to be useful at this point in time. So what we'll do is we'll focus on his Ravager side, because I think if I transfer into Ravager, I'll get to use Blizzard spells, and that might do a little bit more damage to the big Orion arsehole. And you need to do a lot of damage to the arsehole before the Orion dies. We will have a chance to do some Commando as well, but Sentinel... It's slightly awkward, because Sentinel should be his focus, because he is the big strong boy who takes all the hits. However, at this point in time, he's going to end up focused more on being a Commando than a Sentinel, because he's going to be helping out Hope. And, obviously, at this point, also needs to help himself, so that's troublesome. The fact that I can't get him to help himself out. But I must admit, I have made it way further around the... Oh, it's a shame I couldn't snatch that accessory. That would have helped no end. Equipment. Let's double check his equipment. Power circle. No, I think the power circle. Yeah, it's definitely better. Iron Bangle. Like Iron Blue. We got ourselves an Iron Bangle. So I think I may have actually sorted these at some point. Or did I? So I feel like I should have. Must have equipped them all. Is it worthwhile equipping something other than the Iron Bangle? I don't think it is, truth be told. What is that one doing? Doctor's Code? No. Well, actually, Doctor's Code could come in handy since he can't really heal himself. Let's just check his abilities, because I wonder if he's got the Sentinel one. Fringe Ward, no. Vendetta, counterattack, yes. Steel Guard, yeah. Entice, yeah, that's always the way. Blizzard and Frost Strike, that's good. So yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot else I can do. Just hope this time. Back to skip. As fun as the cutscene is, we don't necessarily need to see it again. Hurrah! I don't know if there's a better way of doing this. I don't honestly think there is, because I'm using the manoeuvres as best I can, and I even get Diamond Dust level 3. So it feels a lot like what they have done is they've deliberately made it so that you wipe out the little fellas, but you can't wipe out the Orion, so you have to actually fight the Orion yourself. This is kind of silly. Which bit is silly?
Way to go.
Oh, just in general. It's a general silliness, but in a cool sort of way, yes. Let's try Vendetta Vendetta. I will have a Vendetta against you. Now, I can't remember precisely when the Vendetta triggers, because he's obviously using Vendetta. I'm assuming at the end here? Is that right? When are you going to do your... There we go. That didn't work half as much as I thought it was going to. Right, first things first, let's get that Libra back on. There we go. Now, the other... Aqua Strike? What the f... Oh, okay, yeah, fair dues. It's fine. Aqua Strike, Frost Strike, Aqua Strike, Frost Strike. Yeah, okay, that's not... Will you stop missing the first strike, Snow? I realise you're badass and awesome, but could you try maybe punching the man a little bit harder than you are at the moment? I should probably try and keep my health a little bit higher than I did previously, and I might even have to just summon up the fucking Shiva Sisters a second time, which seems a little bit daft, but also seems like a potentially entirely required thing. Because unfortunately he doesn't actually have a tell for when he's about to do Sparkstorm, apart from he does raise his arm and shout, "I'm about to do Sparkstorm," but the issue with that is I don't think I would ever be able to get into Sentinel. Fuck, hang on. I need to get... I suppose arguably he keeps doing it over and over again, doesn't he? So... God damn it. I'm gonna fucking... Game! Game, stop being a fucking ass. Okay, Vendetta Vendetta. Think you can keep a Sparkstorming me? Yeah, he can keep Sparkstorming me, in fairness. Vendetta. I'm going to shit you up. Well, maybe... No, are you serious about the missing thing? Ah, okay, fine. Summon the Shiva sisters. I don't know if that was a deliberate, intentional thing, that they were forcing your hand into summoning the Shiva sisters, but I have had to summon the sodding Shiva sisters for a second time, which is the most embarrassing part of this whole affair. Right, I probably may also still die, so that could be a problem. Let's still guard, because hopefully I'll either get distracted by the Shiva sisters. Okay, no, we're fine. Right, so let's go back to Ravager, because one of the Shiva sisters, I'm not sure whether it's Styria or Nyx, one of them possesses Curiga, I believe, was being thrown around. How is that a 5-star game? The enemy literally shat on me from a great height. And yet you still go, have 5 stars. Enjoy the 5 stars. I suppose arguably I must have just... yeah, you're quite right, take it. Take the 5 stars and run and enjoy it, but...
Where have you been?
I went to the toilet before we came.
Wait, what?
Not by enemies. It was the cavalry, not SciComm. Leader's name is Rains. He said he'd lend us Lassie a hand. So now, your hero is back.
Yeah.
Why would the army help us? That doesn't make sense.
The military's got all kinds. Not all of them like the Sanctum. Don't worry. I'll handle the bad guys. Come on.
Yeah, Snow is currently... Hope is currently seething because he doesn't like Snow. And Snow is being his usual smug, self-righteous self. Snow has access to the Sentinel role. Sentinels are defense specialists. By drawing enemy taps, by drawing in the enemy taps, he can twist them around to create water. It's very impressive. Mitigating damage via gubbins. Protecting. Sentinel's abilities are essential. With low HP like Hope, the boy is useless. Well, he's not useless actually. He's quite good at what he does, but he just doesn't take hits. Sentinels can use they cannot use the attack command, but they can still damage enemies. Select the Vendetta, and the Sentinel will counter-attack enemies when attacked. Sentinels are at their best against numerous opponents when they can use their defensive abilities to shield allies while dealing damage via counterattacks. They become less effective when only a few enemies remain. At that point, it is best to turn Sentinels into Commandos, assuming you have a Sentinel that can turn into a Commando, which in fairness, you do. Because I'm fairly certain both Snow and Fang, the primary Sentinels of the game, they do sentineling. At this early stage, they do sentineling quite differently. Can't remember precisely why. No. But there's definitely some subtle difference. I think Snow relies on just straight up defensive power, so he takes very little damage. Whereas I think, if I remember rightly, Fang is a little bit more sort of... She relies on less on defense and a bit more on regen, I think. So she's sort of regenning whilst taking the damage, and as such, shrugging it off a little bit more. I might be mistaken, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright. Time for Hope and Snow. I hope it snows. Right, let's pop back into the Crystarium and see if we can... We'll polish off any the 307 from Snow there, just to get them all down to the sort of... good. The accessory slot is exactly what I wanted. But get them all down to 0, and then they're at a nice even footing for later. I think at the moment, yeah... Oh no, I maxed out his medic last time. We were working on finishing off his synergist, it would seem. So let's pop round and see what we go here. I snow his hopes. I snow it hopes, yes. Right, so I think we can probably ditch the Doctor's Code now. So we go back to the Urnberger. Curse. I can't fully remember what Curse does. No, can't remember. Never mind. Water resistance, nah. Lightning resistance, nah. Water resistance, nah. Metal armband, protect resistance. I don't know how many people do that. Improved potions, a watchman's amulet, star pendant, resist poison. Again, I'm not convinced there's many people using poison at this point in time. Spark rings, ember rings, iron bangles. I suppose, yeah, double iron bangle for the power surge, whatever that does. Increases damage dealt to enemies when HP is above 90%. Well, it's unlikely his HP is going to be above 90% for all that long. But nonetheless, double iron bangle will do. Let's just leave if we just scroll across all our gubbins. That should register. Categorise, please. Thank you. Components. If we could categorise those as well. Thank you. Scroll through all of those. Do them in the categorisings. One key thing. I don't know if you've played Final Fantasy XIII yourself or not, but I will just point out this survival knife is in the hands of Hope. It was given to Lightning by her sister Sarah on her birthday. Lightning then gave it to Hope as a symbol for Project Nora, or Operation Nora rather, and therefore the boy has a knife. That's a relatively key detail that will come to fruition in the not too distant future. But traditionally the boy actually utilises a boomerang. His boomerang will come back at all times. And it's almost Yondu's arrow style. He just sort of flicks his hands around and the bow and arrow sort of... not bow and arrow, the boomerang. I've got the first two letters, and sometimes that's good enough. Right, weapons. Let us sort those bad boys. We already have, that's fine. Now, Wild Bear is just even Stevens, whereas Power Circle is a little bit more biased towards strength. And I've got to make a decision, I suppose. I think the Power Circle is just better, and I usually stick to the Power Circle. Got a nasty feeling at some point in the not too distant future I'm going to discover that it makes no difference, but still. Let's try that. We got double the experience now, so hopefully we can find something that's worth fibre optic cables. That'll do. Stick fibre optic cables in your Power Circle. No, it's viable, but not great. Just trying to find the best looking points value. Truth be told, I've explained this before. This is one of those systems that's like I'm sure there's probably one of those guides out there somewhere where it tells you precisely how to sort of like do that. I think it's considered min-maxing, isn't it? Where you utilise exactly the right order of items in exactly the right sort of stuff. Need to help put stuff back after the Boiler Man has visited. Well, I hope the Boiler Man fixed the boiler. Or at the very least, didn't break it further, I suppose. Depends on why the Boiler Man's there. But yes, glad you could arrive at least a short while and help, fix it up after... fix the Boiler Man's mistakes. I'm sure he didn't make any mistakes. Depends on whether it's a service or not, I suppose. But yes, good luck with your fixing of the Boilerman. I will fix the Boilerman. The Boilerman is here and he's trying to move all of my stuff. Okay, so those guards are not then... Oh shit, I should have done Paradigms. That's the one thing I thought I was... That's the other thing I was intending to do. I wasn't intending to put together. Right, let's just double check. Have we got all of these people? No. The Psychon Bombardier. Oh good, we do have some spare for that. So good, we can Libra him. And then rather hopefully we can get some more TP on the way. Cool. Bombardier might not be the optimal first target, but we're doing it now. We are doing it, yes we are. He's not too far from being broken. One loosely assumes they've probably given me some kind of paradigm with a medic in there somewhere, so it's not too much trouble, hopefully. But yeah, I think in this situation you want to focus on the Tranquifexes, as they are the weaker enemy. Get rid of them, polish them off, and then focus on the Bombardier. It's only because I accidentally changed target to scan the fella. I must admit, I'd forgotten that was a thing. I'm sure it's been affecting it previous weeks as well, but I've never really registered or can contemplate the notion. Core Tranquifex. Nah, we don't need health. Who needs health? But usually at about that sort of yellow marker, I'd have gone, oh dear, I must sort of heal myself. But I knew there was only one weak enemy, so we were probably alright. Anyway, right, let's have a look at these. So, yes, Slash and Burn, War and Peace, the most important two. Lifeguard and Building Block. Yeah, equally important, I think. Commando and Synergist, yes, that's a good combo. I must admit, I'm thinking maybe, yeah, Double Ravager. Yeah, I think that's a tolerable volume. Obviously, now they've introduced the Sentinel a little bit more. I think did we ever have Sentinel previously? Yes, because we had Sentinel when the Shiva sisters first turned up. But now this whole section is very much gently introducing you to the Sentinel, which as I say, I think the pacing of this game always quite impressed me, because I think it's interesting because the pacing of this game impressed me for all the reasons why the sort of majority of people dismissed it, because I felt they slowly but surely introduced everything to you and let you adjust, and you got used to the characters and they gave them all their motivations. Why did I have to get stuck with him? I'm hoping Snow didn't hear the boy say that, but you never know. I get the impression that was supposed to be muttered under the boy's breath. Right, get rid of the Passifexes, because I think they're even weaker than the Tranquifexes. I might be mistaken, they might be just a slight variation, I don't know for certain. But yeah, I don't know, I think it will yeah, we have got the scan on there. I think it really did feel like a decent paced game, because each element you start, because as you control lightning, you get introduced to sort of commando style stuff. Once you end up in control of like Vanille, you get sort of taught more about sabotaging. Then once you get control of Hope, you start being taught all about medic. Just keep getting taught about medic. Oh, but that is a new enemy that I haven't scanned. Okay, that's fine. I will scan you. I don't really mind. But you have got the sort of difficult to stagger gubbins. I think it's Vigilance we learnt last week. Oh, hello! Hope is a little bit dead. I think, in fact, Hope is just about alive. That is rather lucky. He did a lot of damage very quickly, which is slightly alarming. Slightly alarming indeed. Oh, there he goes. Punched into the sky and turned to black oblivion. So yeah, whereas most people think this pacing is slow and linear, I actually counter that with its sort of... I mean, it's still slow, but in a good way. Slow in a good way, I think. Oh, now that's interesting. Okay, Predators. I want to scan Predators now. Which I don't think you'd be able to scan a Predator in any other franchise. Now we're focused back on the Passifexes, although I think we are being slightly overwhelmed with numbers in this situation, so we'll probably have to do a little bit of healing at the very least. Yeah, I mean, it's good. That's what I think of. How about that? Mana Drive Curse. Okay, that's not great news. I don't know if the boy has Asuna yet. I cannot recall. I'm pretty certain Vanille had it. Actually, I think we did gain Asuna with the boy. We'll soon find out. He's going to have to do it now. Well, he might buy us actually the curing part first rather than the Asuna-ing. Have you got an Asuna in you, kiddo? Oh, yeah, first probably. Best to heal me. Let's life block and see what happens. What's your natural state? Okay, so Provoke, then Vendetta. I can't deny, manually dealing with sentinels is usually a better option, because a single provoke I think usually works fine. Right, let's let him do his vendetta attack, and now get back to slash and burn. And I really want to get rid of these pacifixes before the other fella, but then again I've just shifted target, which could prove quite the negative. But there you go, never mind. Oh, punched him in the air, kicked him in the fucking scrotum. That's what we like to see, get punched in the scrotum. Ow. Pacifex. Oh, it's not enjoying just working today. I don't know why. Very strange that it would just not be as smooth. Seems to be a little stuttering within it. I don't quite understand why it would do that now. It seems like a peculiar thing, because it was not something I'd noticed on previous weeks. It definitely seems to be hanging a little. See, like there. He's
Just too
doing
easy.
something weird. I don't know. Oh well. Carry on, see what happens. And hello again to you, Boogie Bum, the 33rd of your kind. 3 stars is alarming, but oddly apropos for the introduction of a 33. All of the frees, once again. Many frees. Oh, now, let's check the map, see. Okay, that's the correct way, so we want to avoid. Oh, he looks like a big boy, doesn't he? I don't necessarily think I'm ready for a big boy, but oh well. In for a penny, probably in for a pounding. Let us see what we can accomplish. Deal with the pacifexes first. Get rid of his flanking units. And I did say flanking. Bam! Nice staggered, nice pop, and away we go to the next pacifex. Carry on, still tapping, can't help myself. Still tapping away. We are currently in the midst of Palom Polom, where we are beating down many a man. Charging the mana drive, that could be a bad thing. Let's war and peace it. So that, oh, okay, he is definitely doing something I don't like the look of, so let's provoke Vendetta. Come on, give it to Snow. He wants it, he likes it. Oh, you're not charging anymore, right? Slash and burn then. Burn his bits off. Although, of course, technically, for start, oh, I never scanned it. Yeah, I want to do that. Get them to their peak efficiency. But the crucial thing with slash and burn, of course, is at this point in time, I am not slashing because I'm punching, which is distinctly bludgeoning. And also, I don't think I'm burning because he might be using fire. Difficult to know for certain what the boy's going to do. Oh no, he's fire and blizzard and air. Oh, he's just tossing out a sort of an array of different spells. Okay, he's charging that mana drive again, which no, he's not. Mana drive denied. Okay, the boy does need a little bit of health. Get yourself some health, boy, and now get thrown into the sky. Yeah. Back to slash and burn for the maximum damage. Get him up in the sky, kick him in the nutsack, and then have some fun dancing on his cold corpse. It's only cold, I suppose, if we end on a frost spell, which in fairness we're probably not going to. If anything, the most likely one we'll end the battle on would be an arrow spell, because he's the third in his row. Although having said that, I suppose he might do it the first one. And then it'll be a hot corpse, because it'll be fire.
That's what I'm talking about.
What were you talking about, mate? I don't know. I rarely know. 5 stars, baby, 5 stars. Well, that's what... I said it was going to be a tough battle. Sometimes the toughest battles reveal the best stars. What? I missed what item I got there. I can't... Well... It's the problem with playing multiple different games that have similarities. Okay, so it could have been Fortisol or Phoenix Downs. Or it could have been credit chips. Any of them I don't really care too much about. Useful eventually, I'm sure, but ultimately credit chips, bit meh. Although I think actually, yeah, I think I pumped credit chips into the weapons. I think they might actually be the best thing to sell. I can't recall. I'll have to have a look in the shop. I don't often sell things. Unfortunately, they were pretty much ready. I think because we made such a huge entrance at the beginning of this section, every single enemy in this area is basically on form, and they know we're coming. But I mean, you know, if you throw ice everywhere and come flying in on a fucking motorbike made of women, I think people are going to turn around and go, yes, I'm well aware that they are here. It is no longer a stealth mission when you come in on a motorcycle made of women. And if it was a motorcycle made of men, I don't think it would make a difference. I suppose, what would be the stealthiest motorcycle to be made of? Cushions? Are cushions stealthy? Why was cushions the first thing you thought of? I don't know. It's just they're soft, and if they fall, they're not going to make much noise. I suppose arguably a motorcycle made of ninjas, that might be stealthy. But I kind of would prefer to see a motorcycle made of cushions now. I very much want to see a motorcycle made of... Oh, we might be able to get the drop on him. He's just... No, definitely not. Might be able to get the drop on him. Game immediately says no. How dare you? How dare you even think you could get the better of my core Tranquifex? Let's deal with the next one. Usual tactics apply. Take out the little beggars who are weak-willed, and then aim fully at the big bastard so that we can focus our powers, focus our efforts. We may even need to check whether the big boy's another new fella, but I don't think he is. It would be nice to do more sort of breaking of the people, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be viable. We shall see. We shall wait and see if things are gonna go my way. Oh dear, the voice is going very peculiar there at the bottom. I'll have a drink. Right, carry on beating down a bombardier. Fairly certain, yeah. I recognise the name Bombardier. Mostly because of the beer, I suppose, but no. Primarily, it is me. We've fought one before, that's why I recognise it. Punch him and wind him. I like the fact that he sort of looked like he was winded whilst being arrowed to death. It made for a fancy. How's my day been? My day's been, I mean, tolerable. And that's high praise. That's high praise, in fairness. I don't tend to... I mean, my days are usually the same, in fairness. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I was going to check Paladin. How is your day? Has your day been tolerable, or has your day been marvellously marvelous? I don't know. It has to be marvelously marvelous. Oh, there we go. They've revealed what I was trying to remember earlier. Snow focuses on Steel Guard, and that just buffs his defense up substantially. And then Fang prefers the Medigard, where the defense I don't think boosts as much, if at all, I'm not sure. But what she has is a constant ticking regen effect. It is quite good. So yeah, I mean, Paladin, it lowers both my strength and my magic, which doesn't sit hugely well with me. So I've been watching TV. That sounds like a cracking day. To be honest, it's basically what I tend to do, apart from the hobby part. I just sit and watch the TV part. But yeah, sat watching TV. It's fun times. Enjoyable day. What TV were you watching out of interest? I watch a lot of TV, so you never know. I might recognise the programme. And I will make sweeping judgments based on your viewing pleasures. In an unfair and harsh fashion. No, I promise I will not judge you for your TV watching preferences. Because I probably wouldn't want people judging me on mine. But having said that, I like my preferences, so I wouldn't care. So if you like your preferences in TV, you wouldn't care. And suddenly Yoda. Suddenly Yoda appeared. And sudden unexpected Yoda is an unfortunate affliction. I've seen the doctor, but he just said this is the way. Outlander. Oh, name rings a vague bell, but I think it's one of those ones where I keep getting it confused with something else. But I think is that one of those ones that I think it's classified as a romance? There's some kind of romance and time travel? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I think there's something completely different. Certainly I might be getting it confused with Highlander, but that's definitely something completely different. Building block? Yeah, building block will do. Provoke? No, we don't really need provoke anymore. Oh, shite. Well, Hope dead. Hope died. Hope's dead. And now I'm stuck still guarding and not being able to bring the boy back to life. Come on, boy. That's it. Right, let's get back to slashing and burning this guy. He is needing a good slashing and a burn. And if it burns when slashing, you very much have to see a doctor. Right, let's go back to War and Peace, try and get this thing, get healed. Get Hope healed, and now let's go back to Building Block, and this time manually do the abilities. That's the one. Good advice. I'm so glad. I do like to be of service to... I'm assuming the yup is in reference to Outlander being the sort of romance and time travel thing. Right. No, I think it's time for Slash and Burn again. We need to take him down. And welcome, Mr. Bluebush. How are you this merry afternoon of SaturJay? It's a clever name. I likes it. But yes, we are SaturJay RPG, and this is Final Fantasy XIII. I don't know if you are familiar or not with the world of Final Fantasy. I imagine at the very least the name. You're knackered. Oh dear. What have you been up to? Or is that just staying up all night painting? In fairness, I stayed up all night watching you paint, so I can't exactly... there's certainly not a high ground I can take on that occasion. Vendetta, vendetta. Except it's never final, yeah. I was going to say, most people at least know the name, because it's been around for years, and is sort of a little bit of a legend, really, isn't it? But yeah, this is the one nobody likes, apart from me. No, I think it gets a bum deal, because everybody kind of leapt on it when it first came out as this. It's linear and it's which is exactly the noise every reviewer made when discussing the game. They just broke down into it. I need to concentrate on the battle, not concentrate on drinking.
No problem.
But you know, that's it. Sasha is no use. That's Sasha when she's gone wrong. But yeah, everybody jumped on it for being linear and not good, and I can't deny it. I was influenced. I try not to be. I try not to sort of take reviews and stuff to heart, but sometimes when the reviewers sort of leap on it quite so much, and it becomes quite so prevalent, this idea that it's linear and horrible, even I can sometimes end up being like, oh, okay, oh dear. And so I was sort of, the first time I played it, I wasn't sure, but then I gave it a second go, and I absolutely loved it, because the story driving the game is fantastic.
We're almost there.
The the interrelationships, I don't even know if that's a word now, but the relationships between the characters, the way they interact, I suppose that's where I was getting into from. The way they interact with each other and the way the story unfolds, sort of having them all have complicated. Oops, no, down the hill. There's no thank you. I do find it very, very enjoyable, and I do have issues with the battle system. I do have issues with the fact that it is quite so automatic. Now there's elements, as I've discussed this in the past, where there's a lot of elements where you do have to interact with the battle system a lot more later on, where you sort of have to,
I had to.
you do have to sort of time things out and plan and do a lot of different bits and pieces. But, you know, all in all, I think it's still a very, very good game. I think Final Fantasy 13-2 and 13-3 should have perhaps been separate games with nothing to do with Final Fantasy 13. Because the problem was, Final Fantasy 13 was a delightful little package by itself. And then they went, let's retcon that and make a second one for no obvious reason. And then they went, hey, we're already too deep. Literally. I told you the boy had a knife. Actually, I don't think I told either of you the boy had a knife. I told Chester earlier on the boy had a knife. Oh, he's got a communicator. Very fancy, isn't it? And then, you know, Lightning Returns, again, wasn't necessarily 100%. Whoa! Hey. I'm doing hero things in a hero fashion.
Great, great. Hope's great too. Are you all right?
I'm great, you're great, everybody's great. Reunion time. Figure out a rendezvous point.
Not quite sure why Fang is so agitated there, but
that line's hyper encrypted.
I wouldn't want someone sweating on my phone either.
Hey sis, is that you?
Oh, you're just gonna look prone to snapping. I'm sure they're made of some fancy material that is literally unsnappable. But they are probably impractical in our world, at the very least. But anyway, so despite me saying they shouldn't be 13, 13-2 and Lightning Returns are both very good games. 13-2 has a very nice battle system in it that I really quite liked, and Lightning Returns, again, very, very unique battle system that I quite enjoyed. It's just, like, it felt so forced to be Final Fantasy 13, where I feel like if they'd just gone, this is Final Fantasy, they could have just gone, this is Final Fantasy 14. All new characters, all new cast, all new fancifulness, and it would have been a delightful game. Whereas they very much shoehorned Final Fantasy 13 into this Final Fantasy 13-2, despite the fact that it really didn't need it. But, yeah, it's an oddity, I think.
Take care of Hope.
All over it. And I'll tell you more about Sarah when we meet up.
Because it's one of those, again, like, they already did sort of a 2 with Final Fantasy X and then Final Fantasy X-2. But Final Fantasy X-2 felt a bit more natural, because it was just perfect continuation. At least as far as I recall, it was perfect continuation. You had the story of Final Fantasy X, and then they literally just went, and this is what happened after that time. This is what the people are doing now. So, yeah, I quite liked it. I think we're getting to play as Fang, which is another Sentinel, but a very, as previously mentioned, very different Sentinel. She utilises rather different Sentinel commands, I believe, and she uses a spear, I believe, or I don't know. Would it be classified as a spear? Not really. No, it's more bladed lance is what they classify it as. It is bladed on both ends, as it were. Earned Bangle, yeah, I think. I mean, pretty much because you're another. What's it? Sentinel. So Earned Bangle. Seems like a good idea. Time to go to the Paradigms first, I think. That's the one I want to definitely remember. Right. So, I probably do want what they've given me. But yes, I think what we want is Commando and Medic. So, War and Peace will swap up to there. Earn Bagel, yes. It's one of the new ones. Whereas you don't put poppy seeds on it, you put Earn Brew on it. You just soak it in Earn Brew, and that's where you get an Earn Bagel. So yes, what's quite nice, we have another Saboteur on board. And again, she sort of, Fang does it slightly different to Vanille early on, which is another lovely sort of extra. Right, let's put Divide and Conquer there, maybe. Do you actually have Ravager? No, I don't think Fang has Ravager. No, she doesn't. Okay, so we've only really got one Ravager there, which to a certain extent, that's not unreasonable. I don't know. I don't know if I like my choices leading me to this point in my life. But apart from that, I'm fine with the choices I've made in-game. No, it's sometimes difficult to know what paradigms you might want. Because you don't 100% know what the game is going to throw at you. So it's kind of like, oh, you're just making it up and hoping for the best. Which is a dangerous thing to start doing. Anyway, that's got the accessory attached to it. Because I kind of think, ultimately she focuses more on Sentinel. I think if you had to choose a role for each of the characters, I think Fang would definitely be considered Sentinel over anything else. But Saboteur is quite a good role, and it gets me the accessory slot. So I'm going to focus on Saboteur for now. Lightning, however, 100% Commando. Absolutely tip-top Commando girl. And then... But she is now the only medic available to me at this exact point in time, so I think we will focus on medic side. Asuna, good. That is exactly what we require. Cura wouldn't go amiss, but I don't think we're there yet. What's the one in the middle? Oh, that's the roll level. Do we have Cura with her yet? I don't think we do. Medic. No, she's just got Cura and Asuna, which could prove a problem, but difficult to know for certain. Let's sort those out. Acknowledge the Bladed Lance. Sort those out. And acknowledge the credit chips. And then sort those out. And finally acknowledge all of the items there, and then we've acknowledged everything in the inventory, which allows the inventory to chill out with the exclamation marks. Save it up again. But I also quite like, it's a little bit jarring, I suppose. I don't think this was ever a particular complaint in terms of the reviews, but it can be construed as a little bit jarring, the way you sort of flipped between parties. Oh, I really thought he was not going to turn around, and then he turned around and shat on my day. Right, so yes, I mean just basic slash and burn. I'm fairly certain we've got the scan on all of them. Marvellous. Basic slash and burn. Although lightning is not the optimal Ravager for slash and burning, but ultimately you want slash and burn. It's the best group of two. It's the best paradigm for two people you can get. Terra Nefuji 6, Clap a Man and a Thumbs Up 1. Is that the new score? Can't remember what. Was Terra Nefuji something? I swear you've used the word before and I can't remember what it was. But welcome, Mr. Onibushu. We are currently on SaturJay RPG and playing Final Fantasy XIII. I'll try not to delve too deeply into past trodden ground, but we are in Palampolum and we are just milling around. I mean, basically, Fang to the rescue of our delightful Lassie. You can see Fang. I mean, I zoomed a little bit too close to her breasts there. That wasn't the intent. I was looking for the shoulder, which, I mean, that's what I said to her. She was still very angry. No, if you look, I can't remember where Lightning's is. Oh, I think Lightning's... No, where's Lightning's little tattoo thing? I think actually Lightning's might be on her chest. Which, yes, another likely excuse. Anyway, but you can see Fang's little sort of Lassie tattoo is slightly different to everybody else's. Precisely why? We're yet to find out. But it is different. Anyway, let's carry on. Carry on, regardless. No, I think he's just going to look at us, isn't he? Alright. That's fine. You alright? Hello. You fine? Oh, that is weird. I don't remember them having little feet. Oh, look at the tiny little spooty feet. I genuinely thought they just hovered. Oh, I've not noticed the little tiny spoodly foot. Spoodly foot. Look at them. Go on, do it again. Oh, look at the tiny feet. Oh, anyway, one key thing we have to do with Fang, because she's a new character, of course, make her dance. I've been lost to the little tiny feet. Come on. Yes, there we go. She face palms. She's not happy. Do you have a second one, or is it just exclusively face palm? No, stop making me dance. Stop giving me the boogie bums. No, I will not boogie bums. No, leave me alone. But yes, it is tradition that with every new character, which in fairness, Fang is the last new character. Spoiler alert, I know, but she's not going to do the facepalm one again, I don't think, is she? No, she's exclusively doing the sort of wave around, sort of flimsily in the air. Yeah, one hand on hip, stop it, or I'm going to slice your nads off. And I suspect she could easily slice my nads off, especially with that bladed lance, which is, I must admit, really nice. I like that bladed lance. I love the fact that it's got the sort of the wiggles. I don't know how better to describe it other than the wiggles. But the blades don't just come up, I don't think. No. Or do they? No? Wait, I did see it a little bit better. Difficult to see it in motion, so stop waving it around. That's it. Yeah. The blades don't just sort of come up straight. They come up sort of like... And I'm doing the motion in midair, and obviously nobody can see that, but they sweep from one side to the other side, and then they sweep from one side to the other side. You can see it yourself. It's right there on the screen. You can see it. But it's very nice. It's a very, very nice blade. But yeah, I genuinely thought I really thought they just floated. I had not seen the little tiny spindly feet. But no, you're right. You're quite right. There'd be a nightmare to get into a farm. Don't know precisely why you'd want to get him in a farm, but if you had to get him in a farm, they're not likely to make it over there. Well, that depends. Maybe they do have a little bit of float upon them. Oh ho! Oh no, he is facing this way. I was genuinely going sneaky, sneaky. I can back attack this man, but he's literally full blown looking at me, isn't he? Can we? Oh. Yeah, no, he's straight up just. We're not going to attack you until you cross the line, but I am going to stare creepily at you. But what I find particularly weird about her staff, and I suppose, yeah, it must just, I suppose. Oh no, I think I see what it does. I think I understand the mechanics of the staff now. So at this point, the speary bits that cross over are currently sort of like folded down, which there's part of me like you look at that and my first instinct was maybe they fold down for safety, but the blade is still right next to her head. In fact, arguably, the blade is now closer to her head in its folded down form than if it was just left in its non-folded form. So the folding just feels pointless. I don't know if maybe it's just because they wanted every single weapon to fold. So they went, do we really need Fang's weapon to fold? And the artist went, no, not really. I mean, it's fine. Technically, it's perfectly fine just being a straight blade. Yeah, but everybody else's weapons fold. I don't think we need a folding spear lance thing. Everybody else's weapon folds. It's futuristic. They fold. But yeah, it just seems impractical, to be honest. But fancy. And fanciness sometimes fully outweighs practicality. Oh good, Fang has Blitz. Didn't necessarily need it to use Blitz at that exact moment in time, but it's good to know. Good to know that piece of information. Oh dear, we are losing quite a substantial amount of health. I don't know precisely. Well, I know exactly what to do about that. In fairness, I can just pop into War and Peace. But yeah, you will note. Oh, you don't have to take notes. I've never enforced the note system in the past, but there is a quiz at the end of the week. No, you may want to note the mildly interesting thing. I can't remember what the mildly interesting thing was. Oh, yeah. Slash and burn, War and Peace. They're kind of the primary two. They're really the only ones you really need. Everything else is sort of a bit of gravy that can be quite enjoyable, but not 100% required. You could probably do every single battle with just War and Peace and Slash and Burn. But I can't deny, Sap and Salve, that might be quite fun, although... Divide and Conquer, I think, is going to be the primary one for Sabotage. You will face my sabotage by the... Oh dear, we're not getting very good scores here, are we? As in fairness, we're not doing an incredibly good job. Oh, again, that spoil screen. If there's no actual spoils, I wish they'd just skip the spoil screen, to be honest. Because I frequently find myself sat there going, right, shouldn't you have moved? Oh no, the game's gotten stuck. Oh no, the game's gotten... Oh no, I have to push A on the spoil screen. Fang always had an interesting outfit as well. We've discussed everybody else's outfits, so I suppose we might as well deal with Fang's. And lovely hair.
Who are you?
Turned into a fashion stream. But no, there's just something... The colouring of Fang's hair is quite fascinating. Because it's sort of got that kind of... It's black with like brownish tips and like quite light highlights and stuff. It's nice. Very good hair. I'm not sure about her boots. The weird sort of strapping above the boots. It gives her a bit of a sort of... I suppose it gives a bit of a Spartan sandals look. But I'm not keen. Not keen, to be honest.
Here we were.
But the rest of it's quite a fascinating sort of...
The reason Cocoon's in such an uproar is the same reason you're here now. Vanille
sweeping fabric. Because I don't know whether it's meant to be all one piece, or whether it is meant to be two sort of pieces of fabric. If it's all one piece, that's quite fascinating, and it'd be interesting to see where it starts and where it goes. Well, I suppose it starts where it starts and it goes where it goes.
The Sanctum follows Foul C orders. It's not just after Lassie. They'll target civilians and purge everyone who's a threat.
More innocents get killed.
You can't take the blame for that.
I mean, he can.
Someone
But
has.
also, I don't think he's blaming himself, he's blaming you,
Still
Snow.
save him. We let loose and bring the army to us.
Draw their fire.
I'm supposed to protect you.
I don't think an art class is going to help us win this fight. Draw their fire, art class, get it. It's a funny joke.
Only one choice, I guess. Try to save everyone.
Yeah, you didn't save his mother, did you?
So, Hope.
That's why Hope keeps pulling angry faces, because Snow was the quote-unquote cause of his mother's death. Technically, not actually the cause of his mother's death. He got everybody riled up and asked them all to become part of his sort of impromptu militia at the beginning. Hope's mother said, yes, okay, I'm going to fight for my right to party. And then she got blown up and the floor cracked beneath her. And lo and behold, Snow tried to grab her. It was an emotional moment. Snow tried to grab her, but he just couldn't quite hold on. And he let her fall. And then, like 2 minutes later, Snow fell down the same gap. And weirdly, the mother's dead and Snow's perfectly fine. Oh, I can't remember. I genuinely can't remember if we ever established whether they actually provided a decent excuse for why Snow survived. But I think it was genuinely just sort of Snow's the hero of the game, Nora is the sort of trigger for anguish for the boy. Can't deny, going that way, I don't feel he's going to help me. Oh no, now they've separated, yes. Oh, no, oh, careful. Oh, Snow, he went too early. He got too excited. I thought I'd held him back, but no. Just too excited by far. Should have thought of sports and old people. It's the usual method, isn't it? Punch. Oh, no, big punch. Big punch of a punch. Punch him to death Launch him into the sky. I'm assuming the boy doesn't have lightning, which I suppose is because she's off elsewhere in the middle of town somewhere. But in a very real sense, he doesn't have lightning magic either, which is a bit of a bugger. At least he's not trying to use his weakness to yellow. I suppose, yes. That is, I mean, that if he truly did have a weakness to yellow, he would be in terrible sort of. His mind would be like, why did they put me in a yellow uniform? Fuck. But he's officially weak to lightning. It just so happens that lightning is yellow. Oh, 5 stars. That's what we like to see. I do enjoy my 5-star rating. Did I actually? Yeah, I think I did, but we'll save it again. Treat yourself. You know, every now and again, it's nice to have a little double save. Sometimes I say things and I don't even know what I mean, so I don't know how anybody else keeps up. Okay, we can get the back attack on this guy. Just need to figure out where the trigger point is and not cross it. Well, I haven't said that. That other guy is just watching me, isn't he? No, I think his friend was just sort of there. Who rates these battles? Are they rating themselves? Yes, I believe they're on the form of 5-star, but I suppose technically, I've never really considered that question. But yes, strictly speaking, there is nobody technically doing it, so it does feel like maybe it is the party. The party are just there going, yeah, no, we did well there. We did well. 5 stars I give ourselves. And I now suddenly like the idea that they've got little name badges, like in sort of supermarkets and stuff. And they've gone, oh, you want to be more 5-star battler? Yeah. And yes, my name is Snow. I'm a 5-star battler. Which actually makes getting less than 5 stars a little bit tragic, doesn't it? Because if it's them making it up, they're making their lives more difficult by going, no, I don't think we did it to our best. Oh, can we sneak up behind? Nope. Bloke watching. Don't know what the two facing the opposite direction were looking for. I suppose they were technically distracted by the innocent civilians. Ow! Do you mind not shooting me? Seems rude. Just shoot a man. It's amazing how many bullets Snow can take. And he can take a load of bullets. It's going to be even more amazing in a few moments. Just remember how many bullets Snow has taken in this battle alone. In this battle alone, how many bullets he's taken. And then watch what suddenly takes him down in a few moments. I know, technically spoilers, but I'm not telling you exactly what happens. Just something happens. Now, it feels like... Now, how does one get up there? Also, I can definitely hear the buzzing of a treasure chest. Let's just double check this map. Yeah, there must be a path here somewhere. Is it back here? I do not know. Oh, is it there? Yes, it is. They hid a secret path in the grassy knoll. Oh, that grassy knoll. Yeah, okay. What do you win? And who are you talking to? Hope. Hope, mate. Mate, Hope. Stop walking into the back of the small child. Smaller child, I suppose. Hope. Hope, do you want to stop that? It's getting a bit weird. Could you maybe go round the small child? I know the small child is quite annoying. Small children are, Hope. Hint, hint. But maybe... Oh, is he? No, I thought for a moment there he was going to get dislodged. Shooter? No! Plus we don't have any guns. Come on, Hope. Do you want to go? No? No, he is exclusively walking into the back of that small child. That's fair. You carry on, son. And here we go. I told you. I told you there was the sound effect of the orb spinning. Oh, I see. I think the girl got sick of your shit. Can we just drop down there? Superb. That makes it a lot quicker. Hello, man. You gonna step up to snow like the other guy? No, he's just gonna stand there. Stand there like a melon. I don't know. He's just staring off into space. Oh dear, so are you. Right.
Got enough problems let you causing more.
Well, I'll cause you some problems. By punching you in the face. I don't think we can get through that gap. In fairness, the map says no. Oh, I apologise slightly for the camera. It's not 100% my fault, but it is at least partially my fault. I keep trying to get the camera to go places it doesn't want to go, and then it sort of flits back and tells me off. Right, okay, let's just try. So I think the stairs are going to be safe. Is there a way? I mean, weirdly, because he's just watching me, I don't think I'd ever get a back attack from this side. So it feels distinctly like I'd be better off popping. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go straight out. It's like I was stood there thinking tactically, and then realised they're weak enemies. Just punch them. Just punch them in the face repeatedly, over and over again. Possibly punch them in the scrotum if the opportunity arises. Although, having said that, I have just spotted. I've never really acknowledged quite how stupid their crotch armour looks. But it looks A, a little bit like a nappy, and B, it's very, very plasticky. They are wearing outside plastic underpants. And it's slightly weird. I feel like it would have looked better if it was a bit more connected to the other armour plates. But it does just looks like plastic underpants. With like hard, solid, spiky crotch at the bottom. Or not spike as such, more bladed crotch. Which I don't think you should ever. If anybody ever describes you as having a bladed crotch, I think you're wearing the wrong outfits. Ah, yeah, but the Imperial Stormtroopers. See, this is where I mean about if they had the rest of an armour piece, these guys might look a little bit better. Bertie? Bertie? I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, A, that conversation was completely backwards, which I'm assuming was meant to be amusing. But also, I'm disappointed in you, Dad. You named your son Bertie in a Final Fantasy world. I mean, you could have gone wild with it, and you went with Bertie. But arguably, in a Final Fantasy world, it's going to stand out, isn't it? That is all Snow knows how to do. He loiters around everyone, punching his fists. Oh, the Guardian Amulet. What does the Guardian Amulet do? I'm assuming it's an accessory? Probably don't necessarily want... yes, it is. Guardian Amulet. Cast Protect when HP's low. Physical wall's not a terrible idea. But I feel like when the HP... the problem is, that sounds quite good. Because it will take the edge off of attacks when your HP is low. However, a lot of the time, when your HP is low, taking the edge off attacks isn't going to make that much difference. Because you're fucked anyway. So it's kind of like... ugh. There is always a Cid that turns up in Final Fantasy, yes. Have we seen Cid in this one? Oh yeah, I think it's the... yeah, Cid's the dickhead. Or is Cid... is it Cid Raines? Yes, no, I think it's Cid Raines in this one. He's on the Lindblum. He's the nice chap. I quite liked what they did in Final Fantasy 15, which I suppose arguably was probably pure fan service, but I think Cid was the father, in fairness, but they also had Cindy as a primary character, who was sort of your female Cid. Although having said that, in fairness, in reality, the female Cid is Cid. Because you can be Cid in both male and female senses. Oh, got him! I'm genuinely surprised. I didn't think I'd get a back attack at all in this situation. I think I've just discovered the fact that I enjoy saying the words back attack at all. because they flow together so perfectly. I'm going to look out for the back attack at all. I never thought I'd get a back attack at all. But yeah, I quite like the other Sid. I quite like is, of course, Final Fantasy. Yes, that one. Final Fantasy VII Sid. I was going to say Final Fantasy VII, and then partway through the 7, I doubted myself. Where I suddenly went, is it? I don't think it is. But no, it is. Final Fantasy VII Sid. I liked him. The grumbly pilot who wielded a spear. I enjoyed that Sid. And I must admit, I do look forward to seeing the rest of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know precisely when they're going to get the rest of it out, but you've got to expect it's going to be at least a year, 2, 3 maybe. Oh, which would be a bit of a shame. It's going to be intriguing to know what they do, because there's possibly 2 ways they could approach it. They could either completely redo the entire system and make a whole new game and a whole new thing, or they could just sort of take the basic elements of the engine they've currently got and add everything else to it. And hopefully if they do the sort of take the basic engine, which I think was a very solid battle system, Final Fantasy VII Remake, or Remaster, Remake, whatever the hell they called it, I can't remember. I think it was just Remake, wasn't it? But yeah, that was a solid system. I enjoyed that system. So I'm sort of hoping maybe they'll... I don't know, maybe it's classified as a bit of laziness, but if they take that basic fundamental battle system and the systems all around and then just add everything else to it, hopefully they might be able to get the sort of second part out a little bit quick. But then again, they got to figure out where they're going with the second part of that. I won't spoil it, but it is very much like, oh, wow, guys, where are you going? Where are you going now? I do not know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. I think it's going to be quite fascinating, and it was a very enjoyable game. This is how I define it as enjoyable. And the key reason why I mentioned it is because it will be interesting to see how they do Sid in that remaster version. But yes, one of the key things that I can describe to make you understand how good a game it was I am very much a person who plays a game, plays the story mode, puts it away. Picks up a new game, plays the story mode, completes the story mode, puts it away. Picks up the next one, etc, etc. Final Fantasy VII, I actually got to the end of it and went, do you know what? I'm going to replay this in hard mode immediately. And I'm not a person who does that. A, I'm not a person who does hard modes, and B, I'm not a person who replays a game immediately after I've just replayed it. I take like a good 2, 3, 4 years to replay a game later on down the line. But nonetheless, it was very much like, do you know what? I've not had enough Final Fantasy VII Remake at this point. I'm going to replay it on hard mode. I got to a certain point, which I knew was going to be the issue point, and I just went, nah, I've had enough of Final Fantasy VII now. But that was more the hard mode than anything else, because unfortunately hard mode made it. It made it hard. Made it very hard. Although having said that, it's a weird one. Because yes, it made it hard, and in some areas it made it sort of almost impossible because they took away your ability to use items. And it's like, I'm not an item user at the best of times, but which is why I got through most of the game's early section without hard mode making any difference to me. It's like, this is fine. This is just exactly the way I played normal mode. I don't need items, I don't want to use them. That's fine. But then there came a fight where it's a very lengthy fight that demands the use of magic. And it's like, okay, I can't replenish my magic now. I don't know what to do. And so, yeah, I got stuck. But the place I got stuck is the place where a lot of people, I think, got stuck. So I'm not feeling too despair about it. It is the house, essentially. The battle against the giant house. I don't know if that's not 100. Yeah, that's full-on spoiler, wasn't it, really? I was trying to avoid it, and then I went, it's a giant house, which is completely spoiled it. But I apologise to anybody who hasn't played it and is planning on playing it. But yeah, the big old house. About halfway through the game, they go, and now you fight a house. And it's like, oh, it's a puddle. How do I do this? And in normal mode, it caused me quite a lot of sort of like, shove off, you little dicks. I hate you so much. Let's fire up the Vendetta. Because hopefully we can get that Sentinel healed. There we go. Come on, that's it. Shoot me a bit more, mate. Shoot me a bit more. Yeah, I don't think the provoke worked as well as I wanted it to. Maybe I should stick to the auto battle, doing the provoke immediately. Like 6 times. Well, 4 times. I can't remember how many ATB segments you get in this one. I think there's at least one more for everybody. And arguably, if you take the idea that eventually it will be centre of the screen, you could probably fit in 2 more ATB segments. That's not a hugely important thing to contemplate at this exact moment in time. That'll just happen naturally. I don't think there's a way you can influence when you get ATB segments. Well, no, that's not 100% true. I think eventually it gets unlocked on the Crystarium, and you can add another ATB segment there. Okay. Little fly boys. Oh, little flyer boys. I don't think I'm going to be getting a back attack on these guys. I don't think I'll get a back attack at all. Mostly because they're up in the air, which makes it surprisingly difficult to actually touch their backsides. Which is exactly what you need. Oh, this is okay, that's fine, I suppose. 2 fights. I'll have to go back and catch the other fella. I thought all 3 of them were going to be in one fight. Not that it makes much difference. Just one of those things. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye, little sets of me. Bye-bye. I'm wandering off the screen, if you were wondering what I meant by that. The little fella at the bottom of the screen. I'm quite pleased with how that came out. For those wondering, that is the sprite of Setzer, just recoloured to be me. And then I believe, I can't remember which enemies I chose, but they are iconic enemies. Don't know who that is. I just picked that one because he was big and gribbly. But I believe there's definitely a bomb in there. Bomb Marlboro, that's the one. Can't quite remember what the one-eyed fella's called. Ooh. That's embarrassing for a person who knows his Final Fantasy. Oh, it's right there on the tip of my tongue, but still. Basic flan type thing. Then I was hoping I might be able to trick my brain into saying it. No. And then a basic bomb and a basic Marlboro. I can't remember which game they're from. I think it was one that was not the original one. I think they're all from the PlayStation Portable. I don't know how many people were interested in the graphics, but nonetheless, it pleased me. I was very pleased by this overlay. Even the crystals that are, I don't know, the crystals are a bit of an oddity because I quite like the way they came out, but they also have a bit, they're a bit sort of not, they're not quite pixel art and they're not quite smooth, perfect art. They're a bit in the middle where it's like, I don't know. Should have either made them a pixel art image or a smooth image, but they were sized at just the point where they were a little too big to be pixel art and a little bit too sort of pixely to be a smooth piece of art. But all in all, I mean, the fact that I kind of pretty much did the crystals myself, I was quite pleased with them. But I think that it was a couple of different layers and then a gradient layer on top as well. And then I was very pleased with my head icon, the way that came out. Because it's one of those ones where sometimes you have something in your brain and you try to get it out onto a screen and it doesn't work. Whereas that pretty much did exactly what was in my brain, which was sort of Final Fantasy VIII inspired wave of energy type stuff. I suppose it's a wave of energy. The wave of energy is a bit closer to Final Fantasy VII's logo, I believe, because there was a wave of energy sort of wrapped around the. I think it's Midgard in. Is it Midgard in 7?
Oh, great.
Or am I getting that confused with 9? I don't know. Anyway, the globe, the Earth thing that is present in Final Fantasy VII, and it's got that energy. I'm assuming it's meant to be the Mako flow around the outside. I sort of replicated an approximation of that, and then went Final Fantasy VIII colours because I like Final Fantasy VIII. It is my favoured Final Fantasy, I think. I like them all, but I think 8 is always the one I sort of slightly like the best, because Squall Lionheart is just... Oh, he's a miserable fuck, and I like that about him.
We don't stand a chance. We can't fight that.
Yeah, and guess what? If I wanted to, I could have killed you all, and Hope's going to give her the little dolly back. I think that's an approximation, at least, of an old summon.
Sorry.
Can't put my finger on what one.
Time to go.
I suppose with the giant sort of red gem in its skull, you would almost assume that was Carbuncle, because I think Carbuncle tends to have a ruby, but I'm not 100% convinced it was, but I might be mistaken, I don't know. Hope, do stop whining. It's a lovely little trip on a rocket pack. How can you not enjoy that? Ooh, this might be the moment.
You gotta stay ahead of him.
It is not. Instantaneous turnaround. It may be the moment. It's not. It's not the moment at all. The moment is later. Yeah, and guess what? There is always time to search for loot. You understand? You think it is meant to be Carbuncle? That's fair enough. I wasn't sure, but as I say, the Dirty Great Ruby in the top of it does make you think Carbuncle. But I suppose it's a nice. I suppose it's arguably a nice way of getting it in without it being one of the actual summons. Which I suppose, I don't know, they could have had Carbuncle in as a summon, I suppose, but they clearly chose not to. But as I say, it's nice to see it in there in some capacity.
Felix Heights is that way, right?
Oh no, this might be the moment.
Still pretty far. A great place for family living. So they say.
Well, Hope knows that. He lived there before
like it
you
actually
came
might
along
be,
and
huh?
ruined his life.
Yeah, well, the sea don't have family.
I mean, you do.
Listen to me,
You do. Technically, kid, you have a father.
I'm an orphan.
Being a Lassie
barely
doesn't
got to
suddenly
know
destroy
life.
your father. Well, it might do.
Someday, I'm gonna have my own.
Not in a direct
Once I
sense.
save Sarah and protect Cocoon.
How exactly?
It's a good question.
And you're too young to know the answer.
I want to do what's right, but everyone hates Lassie. Kind of hard to help someone that's trying to kill you. It'll be tough. But everything will work out in the end. As long as we stay together and hold on to hope.
We don't have any.
Grab him by the scruff of his neck. That's how you hold on to hope. What in the world are they doing? How is that a good
The
plan?
sea's only hope is a quick death.
What is that accomplishing? I actually genuinely I want to phone up the operations manager.
Hold on to hope.
No, I've just become Karen. Unexpected. Unfortunate, the moment you use the word call and manager, you suddenly go, oh shit, I've become a Karen. I think it's a slightly unfair thing to call a person like that, because I've known many a Karen. I say that I've known one, and she wasn't like that. So, arguably, that might be the one Karen that the one exception that proves the rule, I suppose. But No, what I was more. Oh shit! No, I want War and Peace, please. Go back to War and Peace. Come on, Hope. You need to get back into healing. You're not a very good healer. Vanille does it better, Hope. Vanille does it better. I wish I was Vanille right now. That's what I think of you, boy. In fairness, he's not too bad at healing, just I'm taking a lot of damage, I think is the crucial issue. I suppose I don't know. It's one of those ones where I think maybe the sheer volume of damage they're pumping into you makes me think they're trying to get you to do a little bit more Sentinel stuff. But punching things is a far more efficient way, like repeatedly punching things. Vendetta does allow you to punch things, but not, not until right at the end. And unfortunately, Vendetta's very good in the right circumstances, where you can get a beating something drastic. But it's not great against... I mean, in fairness, the game told us it's Sentinels are not great against a single target. Although, strictly speaking, not 100% true, because the scenario I'm thinking of is a single target, but high damage. And the only way you really get the most out of Vendetta is, of course, if you're taking high damage. It looks almost like we're in sort of a swimming pool. The tiles there make me think swimming pool. Not that it's hugely important. I don't know if I was... I can't remember if I was in the middle of a thought that I drifted away. Oh yeah, I was going to... Yes, I meant it in more of a managerial sense. No, I meant it in a military sense, that I wanted to get on the radio to the commanding officer of the guy who just shot that billboard out of the sky, just to understand the plan. Because you got to assume there was one. It's just, I suppose maybe if we flash over to Lightning and Fang, maybe they'll reveal why they shot that billboard down. I don't know. Oh, there's a secret enemy here. I don't know. Oh, here he is. Hey, buddy. Come on. Yep, come on. We'll take you down. I've got no real issue with taking you apart piece by piece, removing your engine. Falco! Velocycle! Yeah, we've fought one of these before. They are nasty. Hopefully, now this is where having Sentinel available might come in quite handy, because this thing has Gatling gun, and Gatling gun is brutal. However, I don't know. I feel like Gatling gun is another one of those moves where it's almost instantaneous. It will be very much like he'll just go, and now I'm Gatling gunning you, and that he'll Gatling gun you. There's not going to be like a I'm charging up my Gatling gun, giving you a few moments to change to Sentinel. So could prove awkward. Difficult to know for certain. I may have to just sort of go in. Oh, we don't need that anymore. I want to keep up the damage, which is why I don't... Oh, there we go. Okay, lifeguard. Provoke still guard. Go, 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 go. Okay, it's fine. They give you a fairly chunky amount of time. That's good. Quite pleased at that. Quite pleased that they give you a nice amount of time to go, oh shit, it's a Gatling gun, into Sentinel and away. Because if they hadn't, I'd have been slightly miffed. Because Gatling gun... If you ever see Gatling gun... We saw it last week against... I think it was against Hope. But if you ever see Gatling gun against anything other than a Sentinel, Gatling gun will kill. It's that simple. There is no two ways around it. It's going to kill you. Because they shoot enough bullets that just does enough damage to wipe a character out. And thus, it is a problem. The only solution to that problem, in fairness, I alluded... Oh, we need the treasure chest. Don't forget, the whole point in coming down here was to get the treasure chest. You almost turned around and didn't get the treasure chest. Okay, Shaman's Mark. I don't think that's going to be useful. Because I feel like that is a... Yeah, that's magic plus 50, which... At the moment, at least, Snow is distinctly strength-based. I mean, I could... As I say, I mean... The improved guard, once he's back to being a full-blown Sentinel, might not be terrible. Physical resistance and max HP is not exactly bad. he does run primarily magic, so magic is kind of his thing. I don't know if I want to take 100 points of his health bar off, though, since he's quite so weak in the first place. And physical resistance, that's where he's getting the physical wall from. It is 50, though, isn't it? It is 50. Yeah, we'll take the chance. Yeah. He's designed to run as a low health combatant. Which doesn't necessarily mean I want him to run as a low health combatant. Oh, hello. Mate, we're down here. Hello. Hello, yep, back here. Back here, come on. Come on. That actually looks just like it's the same fight, so I'm not going to bother. No. No, fuck off. No, right, I'm going to bother because I want experience points. Speaking of experience points, yeah, I've got 2,700 in the Crystallium. Let's go pop some crystal points in me. Everything Ravager, everything Commando. So we are on to Sentinel, which in fairness is your specialty role, so it is quite useful to finish it off. Gained a level as a Sentinel. Is that really all of them? Blimey, I thought there was more. Yeah. Cool. 101 554 5511 101 4455 333 That's not the microphone going strange, combining with the audio feedback loop. That was me being stupid. Synergist medic. Yes, synergist first, I think. But we are clearly destined for a upgrade in our Crystarium arena in the not too distant future, because that's usually what happens. Hope more magic and health, and Snow more strength. Yes, that's not a bad plan. I've gone slightly more resistance with Hope, and, well, I'm basically going to see what happens, really. If he suddenly starts dying frequently, I might have to reconsider my choices, but well, I don't know. I'm satisfied with what I've done for him at the moment. But as I say, I mean, theoretically, in this situation, Snow should be the one taking basically everything. But, of course, if I'm not actually a Sentinel, there is no reason the enemy is going to directly target Snow at all times. It is only when I'm provoking it in the Sentinel form that actually the enemy is going to sort of focus down Snow, as we can see here, because the boy is taking a bit of a pounding, but a little tiny bit of my dick will get the boy up and running again. And again, I told that to the courts; they were having none of it. Provoke, and then do you know what? We'll try Vendetta on the Gatling gun. That might work quite nicely, because again, it's a lot of damage. Although the issue we've got is Vendetta is a weaker defense. I feel like Steel Guard might be the superior option still, because that was an alarming volume of damage Snow took. But theoretically, I mean, I didn't see how much of a chunk Snow managed to take out of the health bar when he punched, and he finished the punch off with Vendetta. But I'm hoping it was quite a large volume, since I took quite a lot of damage. But I mean, the unfortunate truth is Vendetta is not a phenomenally good attack method. It's kind of like it's okay, but you don't. It's not something to rely on without. Are you just permabikes? Okay, I'm calling it permabikes. I'm just going to let them carry on biking, which is one they never got around to doing. Will you get down? Get down and face me, fools! So in fairness, I'm not in their battle perimeter. Now I'm in their battle perimeter. Come here. No, now I'm not. Now I'm in their battle perimeter. Or I'm in someone's battle perimeter. Not entirely sure who's battle. Oh, your battle perimeter. Okay. Where the hell is the other guy's battle perimeter? Good lord. I prefer men who stand on the ground and let me punch them properly. I'm tired of these guys flitting about on their little jetpacks. Oh, I say little, actually. I mean, in fairness, they are flipping huge. They do sort of... Oh, weird. Oh, hello, War and Peace. I missed. Oh, okay, I fucked it. Yeah, no, I think we do need the boy. I need to just be a bit more wary of those missiles because they are quite brutal. They are substantially painful. I've slightly underestimated the pain in the missiles. Come on, keep on punching. Oh, yeah, it's the MLRS volley. I'm not entirely sure what that would stand for. I don't know if there's a real world MLRS that you're supposed to know, or whether it's exclusively in-game. If it's an exclusively in-game acronym, I suppose it could just mean nothing whatsoever. Meaningless, literal rocket storm. I suppose arguably if I was trying to go for a real acronym for it, I feel like it could be miniature laser guided rocket salvo. Rocket salvo, I like. That feels quite like it would work as part of the acronym. Miniaturized, I quite like as well. Oh, Verdifnir. Again, I hate it when you have to decide whether you're going to change equipment. Because look, the Inerta is level 6. It's always going to be better. It would have been shocking had I suddenly found out it's not. But I suppose arguably you have to look at it. You have to look at it from a future perspective and what it does. Slightly extends the duration of defensive buffs. I mean, it's not terrible. By any stretch of the imagination, it's not terrible. The other issue is I don't think... Oh, I suppose I can in... Yeah, unfortunately, I think you can only do it in this menu. Categorize. Where's the new Verdufner? Here we go. 614. That's... yeah, that's even, though. That, however, biases magic. But then again, the Hawkeye biases magic a lot more. Oh. That's good. If that... Is that you having a guess? Because if that's you having a guess, that's genuinely a very good idea. I like that. If that's what it actually stands for, then thank you for the information. But as I say, if that's just an idea you've had for what it stands for, that's very good. I like that. Well, I still like salvo, so I'm wondering multiple launch rocket salvo. Although I suppose arguably multiple. Oops! I fell off. I fell off the thing, and now I don't know. Now the camera won't cooperate. Come on, camera. Hop round and cooperate with what I need you to do. I'm going to ignore the enemies back there. I know I said about not ignoring the enemies, but I took the bicycle on twice. Taking the on... so you think that's what it actually means. That's fair. I've taken on a bicycle twice, so skipping one bunch of flying dudes I don't think will make much difference. Let's just hit it repeatedly. I do like the fact that we are just sort of punching a vehicle. Arguably, I quite like that in Yakuza Like a Dragon as well. I won't spoil what sort of vehicle you face because it is kind of... It's one of those ones where it's like, okay, I'm facing against a man, a different man, this man, that man, all of the men. I've faced many men. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, it's like, what? What do you expect me to do in this battle? This is insanity. But in fairness, that is the tagline for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is what I call insanity. Right, let's get a provoke, and I think this time we'll still guard it, because I really don't feel the whole vendetta thing worked all that well. Not against the Gatling gun, at the very least. The Gatling gun feels a bit more just tank it and then go. It'll do a Gatling gun about halfway through the battle, and then you tank it, then you screw him up. Is it actually weakness to lightning? Is this? That's helpful. Also, what's helpful is Hope now has lightning magic. I realise he's probably been rocking that for the last several battles. I assume my last Crystarium sort of boost session, one assumes that's where it came in from, but it's like, I didn't pay attention. It's shocking, really, the lack of attention I pay to this Crystarium. It's one of those ones where it's just like, as long as you're boosting it and going in the right direction, It's all good abilities. It's especially bad when you get the sort of passive abilities, because those you don't even necessarily know are happening. They're just there in the background, and yeah, I've got them, but I don't care as long as they're in existence. Right, okay, this is gonna be a troublesome fight, I think. I'm focusing on the aerial sniper first because he is definitely the weaker of the two, and I don't want him doing that. Little prick. Do not want your multiple launch rocket systems anywhere near me. I need you to stop. I did ask you to stop, didn't I? Oh, I was going to change back out to slash and burn, but then he did it again. Oh shit. Okay, this is right. Hang on. Yes, that. Now go. Oh, that was lucky. Suddenly, like, I wasn't sure whether I was targeting the right person. Wasn't sure whether I was getting the correct abilities. No, now we're targeting the wrong person. Get back to the aerial target. There we go. This is what we want to do. So he might get a second cheeky Gatling gun in here. The reason why I suggested it was about halfway through the battle is because they do have a bit of a delay, and you're usually able to wipe out about half their health bar. Then they do Gatling gun. Then I don't know precisely what triggers their decisions. Truth be told, the AI is a sort of mystery to me. I don't know what prompts when they do things. To a certain extent, I'm assuming there's an element of random chance in there, so that it doesn't distinctly have a pattern that you can follow. But as I said, it usually feels like they Gatling about halfway through the battle. So I don't know whether that's triggered by the... Oh, there you go. There is another Gatling gun. Provoke, still guard. Go. Do it. There we go. Go in. The unfortunate thing is you do risk that provoke won't work, and then you have to sort of try and back out of the whole thing, and then it's like, oh, my finger's not working. It can be a problem. It can be a distinct problem when your fingers just don't seem to line up with what your brain is telling them to do. I need you to do this, this, and this. Sorry, what was the first thing you wanted? For fuck's sake, fingers! Yeah, sure this is the right way? I mean, it's the only way we can go, so... Yeah, it's definitely the right way, mate. Oh, more aerial scumbags in their giant jet. I'm sorry, when one becomes free, need some logic. I'm assuming maybe the other two were sneaking up behind me, perhaps, I don't know. But nonetheless, I engaged one man and suddenly I got free. Oh dear, war on FaceTime. It's almost a shame you just can't quite manage to defeat one of these. Come on, oh Hope, you little penis. Leave Hope's little penis out of this. Yes, indeed. But you really could have done with not dying, Hope. I'm just saying. That was my fault. I probably should have provoked it and sentineled it out, but as I say, it's a little bit of a difficult one to know. Oh goddamn fucking missiles. Okay, hang on. Let's get lifeguard and get that provoke going. There we go. Right, now get the steel guard going. Right, Hope can do a little bit more medicing. There we go. Now we can get back to slash and burn. Now we can get back to punching, weak one. And now we have pretty much won the battle. Say that with supreme hubris that could bite me, but 2 versus 1, even with the mighty missile volley, unlikely an aerial sniper is going to get the better of me. Although, there is always that possibility they will just get a lucky chance of missiles, and 3 barrages of missiles in a row, and I'm not going to have had time to flick around to get to this other area. Genuinely thought it was a cat, but it's a pipe. Is it a pipe or is it a cat? this game show has not been commissioned because it was too easy. Most people can tell the difference between a pipe and a cat, as opposed to a pipe and a crab. Wait, will you guys just attack me? Good God! It's not like I'm trying to avoid the battle. That's usually the most frustrating part of this whole affair. I'm not trying to avoid anything. Literally here, going, fight me please. Sometimes it's worthwhile sort of getting still guard going early. Depends on when they're shooting you. Right, so let's go back to the lifeguard for a little bit. Let's do still guard for a bit. Right. Oh, okay. We definitely want that still guard up. So hopefully keep the still guard. Go. Okay, no. Right. What we want to do. There we go. I just wanted to refresh the steel guard because I distinctly saw what was about to happen there, and what was about to happen there was steel guard was going to run out, and then Gatling gun was going to trigger, and I knew it was going to happen. So, and luckily, if you have that level of foresight, you can sort of just go, no, no to your stupid timing nonsense game. Right, what I really need is this guy to be dead. So if you can just try and just shrug off that missile launch. Again, I'll just clarify. He's Snow, the man there, the man called Snow, he is taking missiles to the face. To the face. That's a song. I'll try and explain the song in a moment. But do just keep a note. Snow is shrugging off missiles to the face. But in a moment or two, he's no longer going to be shrugging. Oh, still. Oops, that's the wrong button. I managed to hit 2 buttons at once, and I don't think steel guard triggered. No, it didn't. Bugger. But ultimately, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like in Sentinel mode, I think they get a buff to their defense anyway. I honestly don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, the song. I don't know how many people are familiar with the MOBA type of game. Prime examples would be Dota 2, League of Legends. That's your sort of traditional MOBA. Your slightly more sort of non-traditional MOBA would, of course, be something like Smite, because that's a third-person MOBA. But one I quite liked, primarily because it was DC Comics, was Infinite Crisis, I think it was just called. Yeah. Yeah, I think it may have just been literally called Infinite Crisis. Oh dear, we've got another issue with the Gatling gun. Provoke it, come on. You want to target Snow. He's got a very shootable face, in fairness, a very shootable face. But in that, you had multiple different versions of the sort of superheroes you know. One of my particular favourites, I think, was like, there was like an atomic universe or some such. I can't remember the exact details. But anyway, the Green Lantern in that universe had sort of like one of his arms, I think, was blown off or some such. And so he had the ring almost infused into his chest as well, and then sort of summoned a green, lantern energy arm. Quite an interesting design. I quite enjoyed it. But anyway, the key point is one of the theme songs to the Green Lantern, the traditional, original Green Lantern, Hal Jordan style Green Lantern. The song to that was "Missile to the Face," and I don't know why, but I just loved that song. I think it was just the "Missile to the Face" line. It just made me chuckle. Anyway, am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Superb. Right, so you actually capped out all of your Crystarium, didn't you? Let's just double check. Da-da-da, da-da-da, and da-da-da. That's a little bit of Morse code for you. I don't know precisely what I said, but it was probably something about your mother. Yes, carry on. Carry on, Crystarium in. Ooh, Quake. I still don't know what Quake does. It's an ability somewhere on there. Yeah. Deal earth damage to targets in a wide radius and extend their chain bonuses. Do you know, it's one of those ones where I almost feel like I shouldn't say this, but it's one of those abilities that's just like, I mean, it exists, I'm never going to use it, but it exists. Because I feel that the issue with it is because it is one of the abilities, it requires that TP. Now, I save most of that TP to get Libra on the enemies. But also, you want to save your TP to emergency summon if needed. So using it for Quake just feels like a waste of TP.
What if they were taken from you?
Well then, I'd take them back.
And what if you couldn't?
What if they were taken
What if you
to
knew who was
death?
to blame?
Well, then there'd be trouble. Hey,
He's just he's digging the hole, isn't he? Snow. He doesn't understand what he's actually saying.
did you get hit in
I
the
quite like
head or
that.
something?
I do quite like that. I'm slightly sort of ridiculing it, but it is genuinely. It is a beautiful way to sort of heighten Hope's sort of tale, because obviously he's been sort of hyped up by. Oh no, we are Snow. I was slightly concerned we suddenly became Hope. But yeah, I do. It's a good way of building it all up. So lightning sort of starts the fire in Hope's belly, and then Snow is essentially inadvertently fanning the flames of hatred against himself just by, you know, talking to the kid. It's I don't know. I'm not exactly a sort of deep person, but I feel like that's quite good way of doing story writing and telling and stuff. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Hope, healing, ass, now. Thank you. I mean, ideally heal my ass, not your own ass. But arguably, that's entirely sort of... You know, there is a part of me thinking maybe he should literally not heal me, ever. Okay, so he's doing something. Ow. He did something very nasty. And now the boy is almost dying, but hopefully... What I'm hoping for... Oh, bar fire, that's an interesting decision. But, yeah. At the moment, we've got a provoke and a steel guard. So if I just carry on steel guard... Not quite what I meant to. But we'll just let Hope get all of these buffs on us, and then we can probably replenish our health with Lifeguard, because we can continue steel guarding. See, there is strategy. Unfortunately, the negative part of this strategy is I have let that chain meter go down. But the benefits are... Oops, not War and Peace. Okay, slash and burn is what we're after. Get that thunder going. Thundercracker indeed. Now this is where you could really do with a sabotage, a saboteur even. You could do with the element of sabotage with a saboteur. And I never thought I'd say I really needed saboteur, because it was an okay game, but not incredible. An Irish man in France sabotaging things. As I say, it was an okay game, but nothing like dramatically spectacular. But yes, no, you could do with a saboteur, although it's now gone. But when he gets that sort of strength buff, you could drop into sabotage. D. Can't remember what the D is, as it were. Whatever the D offensive is, which I realise keeps sounding terribly wrong. Have you got your D offensive? Let's try Vendetta for a bit. It's intriguing, actually. I don't think you could Steel Guard and Vendetta and get... I mean, sorry. In terms of getting more from the damage you dish out. You can absolutely, if you want to, Steel Guard, then Vendetta. Oh, I suppose technically I'd want a Vendetta, then Steel Guard. Still not convinced that would work, but the theory is the Vendetta triggers. So ideally, I think Lifeguard might be a better choice for now. Ow! The moment I let go of the bloody thing. But yeah, that's... So Vendetta triggers, so all the damage he takes is transferred to the attack. No, it doesn't work. That's fine. It's fine. I've proven it doesn't work. I'm satisfied. Right, let's go back to Slash and Burn. Oh, I really need to... Yeah, I keep not getting that chain meter. It's definitely not going to be a 5-star because I am not getting that stagger. Because I'm not doing it very well is the crucial part of this situation. I might get away with a cheeky double Ravager in a moment. Yeah, let's go cheeky double Ravager for a quick bit of double tapping on that chain meter. Now back up to slash and burn to keep that chain meter from losing too much of the commando's influence. I don't know the exact sort of timings where it might start dropping quickly again after too many sort of Ravager strikes, but nonetheless, double Ravager is working wonders at the moment. I can probably... Yeah, okay, let's slash and burn again. Probably want to do some healing in a moment or two, so War and Peace for a moment. Probably the most thought I've put into a fight so far. Right? Overdrive, never great news, but carry on magic, especially since well, I suppose he's deprotected and de-shelled. Double. Let's weaknesses are lightning. I mean, Frost Strike isn't going to make that much difference. Truth be told. Oh, Super Soldier. Let's get Captain America on his ass. And that's not just his ass. That's America's ass. But yeah, hopefully we can get our buffs back whilst also punching him. Although I swear to God, Snow, if you keep missing that first punch, I'm going to write to your parents who you just said you don't have. Ew, that's awkward. All is forgiven, Snow. All is forgiven. Oh, are you doing something? Oh, yeah, you're flying away. Do you know what? I got a feeling Fang and Lightning might actually have to face that as well. They're the ones who actually do the killing part. Ooh, I think this might be the event.
If you need to take a break, why don't we do it over there?
Yeah, well away from me if you're going to have a piss, mate.
Here.
I'm not thirsty.
Okay.
Ah, shit. Okay, so theoretically... Nope. Nope, it seems to be... I don't know what it's doing. Okay, still not entirely sure if it's actually doing. Are you doing? No.